So when we complete each project, we put together a project showcase. So part of the project showcase typically is some testimonials, it's a flip book and a video of the projects. So we try and incorporate a little bit from, I guess, not only the, you'll have some of the construction in there and the completion. So this project recently completed in October. It's the SARE project. So there's the jazz music everyone wanted to hear. But yeah, in Windsor, so you're 3 k's north of the Brisbane CBD. So once again, it's the evolution of our design in Brisbane. So we're now incorporating beautiful rooftop pools in our projects as well. So 55 apartments. So you'll also see inside of here, there'll be a beautiful private dining. I'm very parochial for this project because I live in it myself. So it's a great community as well of people who live inside of there too. So you can see inside of here our fixtures and fittings. We dressed a couple of apartments to show valuers and industry professionals exactly what we do. So another sort of commitment to our clients is that, hello, how are you going? Is to under-promise and over-deliver. And this is a classic example of that. So when we sold this, that area there, overlooking the city, that's the private dining for the project. So when we actually sold it, we were sold out, we added that in later. So what was communal area, we changed that configuration around to a beautiful private dining with a full kitchen. It's a short throw, so you can walk in front of it. So this is our first foray into the Coolum market, so our third project on the Sunshine Coast. So we are not only a Brisbane developer, we do extend out to the coastal markets, so what we sort of refer to as a golden triangle of property. So Coolum, beautiful location. We launched this project as some 56 apartments inside of there. The centrepiece for the project was a beautiful resort style pool, but lots of amenity inside of there as well. So a multi-award winning project again. You can see a wine cellar there. There's a green room, which is the residence facility. Once again, creating a beautiful community. So by a beautiful community, I mean they have, you know, like Mexican on Wednesday nights, and all the people, all the owners get together, as well as the other residents inside of the building. So it's beautiful projects and set the benchmark, I guess, for the Coolum market. And we've since launched another project in Coolum, which sold out very quickly as well, off the back of the success of the Drift project. There's some really good testimonials on our website in relation to the Drift project. I quite often like playing that for my clients because it's a case of where they can see firsthand the people who've bought into the project, and they talk about their experience as an owner and the fact that, you know, there is little things that do go wrong. I can give you examples of my apartment. You know, we test as much as we possibly can, but it's not until you actually move into the apartment, it's the small things that sort of prop up on a day-to-day basis. I've actually had, not only for myself, but all my clients, people knocking on their door saying, is there something we can fix for you? How's it all going? It's that aftermarket service and that fully integrated business model that we have, where things that do pop up get fixed quickly.
Okay, JJ, everyone is here now.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Yep. Speak.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, and your turn. 首先，大家今天都不用紧张啊，我们今天是个非正式的场合，来的人都是我认识很长时间，最短认识1年，长的话认识5、6年的。然后我这次的这个场合，我本来就是想邀请像我这样就是长期跟我保持关系很熟悉的朋友，买没买房子其实不重要，因为我这个人是更看重的关系的，因为将来会有更多合作机会。然后呢，我是1对1的邀请了在座的所有人，然后也大概说了一下Mosaic开发商的这个独特性，还有我们未来会跟他们独家合作，在3月1号内部上市的一个新项目，目前华人市场里面我们是唯一的。然后值得特别一提的吧，就是我去年个人买了第5套公寓，也是来自Mosaic的，是在土旺的他们上一个项目。很巧啊，我们公司4个人买了，然后buyer都在这儿，另一个是安妮，还有一个是 Olivia， 就那个短发女生，她现在在外面为我们不知道哪位客人做咖啡，特别棒。然后还有一位是那个 Neil 在黄金海岸的一个同事。所以说，也就是说，如果我们作为行业人士都非常认可的项目，说实话也不多。像我们每周平均会看2到3个新项目，包括公寓联排和这个土地建房，仍然就是说看的其实有时候都麻木了，但是仍然愿意下手买的话， 说明这确实是个好项目，就这么简单。而且呢，Mosaic公寓可以说它不是市面上最便宜那种啊，它定位从来都不是那样的，但是升值的那一类，就那么简单。大家如果认为哪些公寓不升值，那是那些公寓，还有一些公寓是升值的，我们才值得花时间去来了解的。而这些升值的公寓，通过短短的一篇文章或者是一组数字，其实是不够的。所以这是为什么我希望我最忠实的朋友、客户，或者是跟我一直保持关系的合作伙伴，像 Chris 律师，顺便介绍一下。然后还有一位换汇的小姐在这里边啊，如果有需求可以找她，来进一步的了解这个真实的市场。然后是有请到开发商里面的负责人，然后进行一个全套的非常全面的一个介绍。他们每一次的 presentation 其实内容都是有更新过的，并不是说你参加过一次，这一年都是这样的。有些开发商调研是这样子，可以告诉大家，因为这边调研都是4、5年调研一次，又不是天天调研，对不对？但是他们的频率是非常高，是内部有一个调研团队的。所以呢，我因为这次是本身非常重视跟他们的合作，也更加重视这个时间点。我们是提前1个月告诉大家一些市场内部的消息，所以就稍微有点匆忙，请大家见谅。但是我之前也说，这是一个 informal 的，我们真正的 formal 是在3月6号，那个时候是我们公司所有人会出动。我们公司所有人出动意思是20个人，今天只来了1/3的人，自己再一次的学习也好，或者是他们有客户听他们客户了解也好。所以呢，有一些同事其实可能之前来过Mosaic的，但是也不一定全都懂的。对于他们来说也是再次学习，更何况咱们如果对公寓市场、对布里斯班不了解的朋友们，对，这就是我一个小小的开场白。那未来的时间呢，就交给我们的 CJ， 好不好 ？Sorry, I just speak Chinese.
No, my Mandarin's a little rusty, but I got a lot of it. So yeah.
Yeah, I just introduce.
No,
just the same stuff.
Yep.
Why we can become very long loyalty relationship, and we are the only one to know this project so
Yep.
far. And Andy, Oliver, and myself are the fans from Mosaic, and we both Patterson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Neo as well.
And Neil, yes. And we got an official and formal one in 6th of March.
Yep.
So today is a little bit hurry up, but don't worry. We got another bigger one, bigger party, about 50 people on that day.
Yep,
Yeah,
correct.
and
And we'll have more information because more information is coming to light. Not coming to light. We still have to go with our design team, working very closely with our marketing team to get everything put together for these dates. So they're pushing as quickly as they can.
Yeah. And also because I noticed, still because of COVID-19, overseas or interstate buyers, at least I got more than 10 people are very interested in this project, but they are in Melbourne or Sydney. So that's why I invite a very special guest, who is Alan Hu, to take the full version of video. I will post the whole presentation on the YouTube or whatever, the video platform. And if you are happy or you feel very confident to share this information, you can do that. So introduce. And I can give you some refer fees. Okay.
Thanks very much, Elva. You're finished. You can relax now.
Yeah.
Look, firstly, thank you very much for giving up your Saturday mornings to come in and learn a little bit more about, our relationships between Matrix Global and Mosaic. Today we're going to go into, who we are as a developer, what we deliver, why we choose our suburbs, and why we're ending up in Toowong, and why we love that inner west pocket. So I'll kick it off. I'm going to try and keep it as brief and succinct as possible. I don't like talking in front of a heap of people for too long, so no, just kidding. So look, about Mosaic, I know a lot of you, and it's great to see so many familiar faces in the audience as well. So 16 years of operation, but over the last 9 years we've delivered 52 projects, soon to be 53. I spent all day yesterday on the Sunshine Coast going through a beautiful Avalon project. So that is ultra premium riverfront and Maroochydore on the Sunshine Coast, unbelievable. So today we've delivered $1.3 billion worth of real estate, and you can see that we've got another $1 billion in the pipeline, which will be delivered over the next 5 years. So that's projects currently under construction and in the future pipeline. And the project, the Kensington, named after Dennis's previous company, it is one of those projects inside of there. So a multi-award winning developer. I won't go too far into that. I noticed a lot of you are looking at some of our awards in the foyer. That's a sample of them. Originally, when we started out, we weren't entering into many awards. It wasn't until we thought for the staff and the business and all the hard work and hours they're putting in, it's actually recognition from our peers inside of the industry. So we've only really entered into awards over the last 3 years, and we've done very well since we've done that. A little bit about, I guess, our business model as a company. We're an end-to-end solutions provider, so a fully integrated company. Everything that touches our brand is done in-house, and we control that. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's the main reason being a consistent outcome. So we're talking from the initial research into what areas we go through to the site acquisition. What's next? Well, then it'll be design, which is done in-house. We have our own design team, but we work with your major firms as well to get a really good outcome. For this project here, we're using the same architects. This is a Kensington project we'll be talking about a little bit later on. As they're called Cotty Parker. They designed the Queen's Wharf Casino, so they are a very large firm and very good at what they do. So the design's done in-house. We have our own development team, sales, marketing's done in-house. We have our own construction team. All right, so it's very rare to find a developer that actually builds their product themselves. And then further commitment to our clients past that is we then stay on board as the caretakers. And I can tell you, as someone who actually lives in a Mosaic building, it's beautiful. Every day I come home, your foyers, your lifts are clean, the gardens are maintained immaculately, and all your common areas, your pools. For me, I've got a private dining facility up there as well, always clean and ready to use. And it is one of those places that I'm very proud to call home, and I love bringing my friends and family around to show it off. And that's what our end goal is when we're delivering. So the size of the business, so I really appreciate you coming in today. So it gives you a little bit of a sense of the size of our company. Obviously a little bit quiet on a Saturday, but yeah, usually on Monday to Friday, we've got a full team in here, 100 plus staff, so we're sitting around about 120 at the moment. And of course we've got offices on the Sunshine Coast and Gold Coast as well. Actually next week we're doing very proud to be revealing our new office on the Gold Coast as well. So we've just done a full new fit out on that. So I haven't seen it. I'm very excited to see that when it launches next week. For us, our track record of these 52 projects, we're very proud to say that we've successfully settled down every apartment on time. I don't think I know of any other developer who's got a track record like that. And of course, we're very well supported by the valuation firms. We do a lot of work externally to ensure that at the back end, they understand who's bought into our projects and the buyer profile all the way through to, comparable sales. So we try and make their job as easy as possible going through that process as well. And of course, for those who invest in our brand, it's pretty critical to understand that we carry a 0% vacancy rate. Now, it's pretty easy to carry a 0% vacancy rate in today's climate because the vacancy rate's right down. But I can tell you, I've been at Mosaic for 5 years, and throughout that whole period, we've always had a 0% vacancy rate. Nothing lasts more than a week on the market before it gets leased again, and that's the longer ones. So how do we do that? Well, we maintain the property management in-house. Your clients are not locked into using them, but we are the best in the business. There's no doubt about it. George and his team are fantastic. And that's even through 2017, I should add. That was when Brisbane was at its peak apartment supply. Vacancy rates sort of climbed to around that sort of 6%. So 3% is considered a balanced vacancy rate. In Brisbane, it got to over 6%. For us, we were at 0% during that time frame. Everything was let out. So it's a lot of hard work, but that's for the investors. And of course, we've always got owners in our projects. So I went into a little bit, I won't talk too much about that, but everything's done in-house from accounts. You name it, we control that as a part of our brand protection. And at the end of the day, brand protection for us means a better quality product for your clients. I guess this comes into a bit of our strategy when we're talking about the transition from Mosaic, what we originally set out to be, to Mosaic 2.0. We're now incorporating a lot of amenity design-led into our projects as well. When we look at the location, we work out what's the price point, who's the buyer profile for that area, what do they expect for that dollar value, and that's what we deliver. So it's a lot of research goes into that. And of course, we've got to make sure from a design perspective that it's very appealing, so people want to use it as well. Any questions so far? Am I speaking too quickly?
Yeah. No.
Very good, very good. So you'll see, I guess with our projects now that we're delivering, and especially in our coastal markets, and we've incorporated in a lot of Brisbane projects now, this world-class amenity. So I guess that's through to you on this project here, which will be settling down middle of the year. That's Bella on the Gold Coast. So on the 26th floor, which is the top floor inside of the project, where you'd usually find a developer putting their penthouse, we actually put in there a beautiful gold-class cinema, private dining facility, as well as library, beautiful amenities. So we gave it back to all the residents, and you can see the ceiling heights through there that take in that full 360-degree view of the coastline. So absolutely beautiful there. Once again, we're giving back to the people inside of the project. So typically you'll find a developer would have sold that off as a penthouse and made a lot more money out of it. But we're giving back to our clients. And of course, you even down to your rooftop pools in here inside of the beautiful Sinclair project. I was here yesterday checking out the gymnasium. That's in the Avalon project on the Sunshine Coast. It's a shell at the moment, but it's absolutely beautiful. The amenities are the last thing that we're putting in there. So it's something that we've definitely added into our project that wasn't there when we started out some 8 years ago building. Of course, our locations with our coastal markets, don't think we're just a Brisbane-based developer. Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast is very popular. Those coastal markets at the moment, as well as Brisbane, but we're seeing a lot of heat in those coastal markets where we're seeing prices really escalate really quickly. It's unbelievable the pressure on those markets at the moment. We've always got a connection with water, so when we go to the Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast, you won't find us in the back blocks. We're right up front. We're between, I guess, the Gold Coast Highway and the beach, if we're on the Gold Coast, and Sunshine Coast has always got to have that connection right with the beach itself. Does anyone have any sort of interest in the coastal markets themselves, or are we all sort of Brisbane focused?
I think most of them are focusing in Brisbane.
Yeah. Good, because that's where I sell.
Yeah.
Look, I've talked a little bit about design and finish, core markets being Brisbane. So we have a very exciting pipeline of projects coming up, especially in that inner west. We've delivered a number of projects, as I mentioned. This project was the first in our history of Mosaic where we actually didn't sell it 100% off the plan. The reason being because it settled down in the middle of COVID-19. So we had 3 contracts out, long story short, and COVID hit and those 3 people weren't able to proceed. We built it, settled it down middle of the year and sold through the remaining 3 apartments very, very quickly. All locals, all owner occupiers. And once again, it's that Mosaic 2.0. We've got beautiful rooftop pools and areas. And I think, Elva, you've been out to the Sayre project, which you showed earlier. You can see what's going on there. I'm going to skip through the coastal because we're not looking at that. So construction, once again, for us, it's all about maintaining consistency. Early on, we thought we'd diversify and use a couple of external builders. We're currently using one on the Gold Coast because it's a different build format, being high-rise. But what we found with the external guys is we couldn't control that outcome, whether it be finishes and timeframes, another thing that's critical for us as well. We're very proud of our track record of finishing projects on time. Even through COVID-19, we've seen the Henry be delayed by only a matter of weeks. The project in Indooroopilly. Our Sayre project was delivered on time. We actually were so far ahead of the construction schedule there. It was around about 6 weeks in front. And then COVID hit and it really slowed everything down, but we still delivered that project on time. So maintaining construction gives us that the consistent quality and also time frame as well from when we're delivering. So one of the biggest things as a company who sells everything off the plan. Remember, we only had out over 52 projects. We've only had one project not sell it fully out before completion. The big thing for us is our rent-averse reality. It's the fact that I want my clients, your clients, everyone to get really comfortable around what's in the marketing material is exactly what we deliver. So I've got a full, PDF that I can send out, but here's just a couple of samples inside of here of our renders versus reality. So you can see on your left-hand side here, this is what's in the marketing material, and then on the right-hand side, this is what we deliver. And I think in each and every instance, the actual professional photography of the projects look better than the delivered product, the promised product. So I want you to get really comfortable around when we do release that marketing material and we sit down all together on the 6th of March. That's what's going to be delivered. And we're, once again, an award-winning architecture firm that is going to be designing that one. Another thing, I guess, that we think sort of sets us apart from everyone else is the customer experience and our customer experience team. Not only do we stay on and have a concierge, so some projects will have an e-concierge, some will have more of a full-time concierge. And it's through that construction phase as well, where unfortunately you'll see me on site doing a few video updates, and as well as regular communication the whole way through. And a part of that client experience as well on the back end is when you walk through your apartment for the first time. And I won't steal too much of the experienced team, but little things like you'll have scents in there, so it smells beautiful when you walk in. It'll be slightly furnished. You'll have music playing, have a cool bottle of water, and yeah, it's a really beautiful experience, and one both Trina and myself have been through recently. And as staff members, we were blown away. So we thought if we love it, we know our clients are going to love it as well.
It actually makes a big difference because I had my own personal customer experience, and then the next day my husband came to have a look, and unfortunately he couldn't make the original appointment. So the next day we went back, and like the light, I just went in on my own and the lights weren't on and there wasn't anybody there, and there wasn't like a little strawberry and a nice drink or someone taking you through and the air conditioning on, and I felt a bit deflated for him because I'd had such a different experience. Those tiny things make such a huge difference to your clients.
Yes.
Well, I guess around purchasing off the plan, a lot of people have concerns around the settlement timeframes because we're talking some projects from original purchases around 2 years to the actual delivery. And of course, we give you really good guidelines when we launch that, when construction's going to start. Our last 2 projects in Brisbane, the Sinclair and the Patterson, both having exceptional results where we actually drag construction forward from the original forecast date. So we're a step ahead of the game already. But also our key engagement, as I mentioned earlier, with all the banks. So we're one of the only developers in Brisbane the only one that I know of that deal with all the tier 1 banks. You might say, well, what does that mean for me? Well, it means we get funding for our projects at a better rate, which means we can put more back into our projects. All right, so, and that's why we deliver such a great product, is because we're dealing with the big banks. Now, the big banks want a lot from us, but we deliver on that. And the reason they deal with us and no other developers is we have that direct connection with the local market in what we deliver.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means we sell to owner-occupiers.
Yeah. All
right, so not a lot of developers do that. Not only do we sell to owner-occupiers, so people local to the market who understand it, I guess our track record in resales as well, and we'll go into a little bit of that as well. There's some brochures on the table of some of our resale track record and history, so I encourage you all to grab one of those today. We've had some really good success in what's been a very flat market in Brisbane. We've still been able to achieve price growth. Whilst it's not been over the top, I mean, I'd be very happy with a $300,000 increase in my apartment, which we have achieved. But genuinely, we've achieved great price growth for our clients as well along the way. Now, one of the other things as well is and I probably don't talk about him enough, but our managing director, Brooke Monaghan. So he's, I guess, the driving force behind our company. Look, an exceptional his flair for design, his work ethic. He's easily the hardest working guy inside of our business. He sets the tone. Everyone tries to keep up. We've got a fantastic culture at Mosaic, and he's the one who's set that culture. So look, in terms of him as an individual, he reports on quarterly basis to your banks because they ask him for an update on what the market's doing. So that's how well respected he is, and also your valuation firms. Yeah. They invite him into their offices to talk about the market and how things are going. So we've got exceptional relationships with all the valuation firms. They understand our brand and the product that we actually deliver.
Yeah, I just add some more information, CJ. What about in Chinese? Okay.
You go. Yeah.
因为咱们今天来的朋友，大部分其实是专业人士或者是做生意的，其实很明白什么叫 financial cost。说白了就是你买一个生意或买一个房一个资产，一般都是要借钱的，对吧？就是你的借钱成本其实会影响到你最终对这个物业的定价。那因为他们长期保持的这个良好的信誉，还有跟这个银行，他刚才也说，就主要是董事长跟银行长期保持很好的关系，也就是说可以拿到，建筑也是需要贷款的，拿到比较低的这种 financial cost， 就是借贷的成本。从而就是说在定价上其实会更合理，把更好的利润将来让给我们的买家，它其实是个良性循环。那每一次的 settlement rate 为什么也可以这么高？来自于大部分它也是本地的买家，就本地的买家的意思就是一定要有 PR 的至少，然后其实大部分如果咱们在以往的活动里面，在网上可以查一查，其实大部分还是白人面孔，其实华人都不太多的。这也是为什么我很珍惜这个机会。其实大部分本地人，尤其是如果是主流人群，也就是白人认可的项目，其实才是应该注重和投资的产品，因为他们不会动不动回国，不会因为这个 visa 突然 cancel， 然后这个房子就没人管了，这个风险是超级大的。尤其是在公寓产品里面。那另外一个他提到了这个 valuation， 其实买期房或者买任何房子吧，只要是贷款，就是进入到个人贷款了，你都涉及到估值。大家很多人对过去的公寓市场特别不喜欢的一个因素就是在于估值，有些公寓确实拉低了它会有时候会带动整个市场，甚至是或者是局部市场吧。那像 Mosaic 每一次的估值和 settlement rate 100%在估值的时候都是100% on dollar 的，这样可以说不管是有没有 COVID-19 这个东西，在我以往过去已经7、8年的从业历程里面吧，这样的产品说实话真的不是每个开发商做到的，哪怕是非常火爆的2014到15年。大家随便往后面翻一翻那2年是非常火爆，它也不是每个公寓做到的。按说那个时候的市场非常好，银行应该都估值是满估，但也不是这样子的。那他们如果是在过去15年中，无论是什么样的产品，又是在黄金海岸呀、阳光海岸，还有布里斯班，52个产品都是满估的。这样例子，我觉得在布里斯班这应该是我见到的第一个。所以大家就是要注意一下，无论将来咱们谈到是哪一个公寓、哪一个期房，它面临的问题和背后的逻辑都是一样的。Finish.
Well done.
Just translate.
No, yeah, very, very good. I did pick up some of the things you're talking about, I guess, with COVID-19 and our successful valuation.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and a part of that is explaining to the valuers, the buyer profile, but it's also explaining where we put the money in our projects as well. Because when you walk through, it's like walking in this building here. You can feel the quality, you can see it, but sometimes you don't see where the money's actually spent. All right, so it's our job to point out to them to say, yes, this is a beautiful design. Yes, it's absolutely stunning, but this is where we've spent money. We've put it here, we've put it here, and that way it gives them the confidence to support our brand as well. So, as you mentioned, we settled this project down. I'm getting onto the valuation piece. This one here was settled down right in the middle of COVID-19, where we had 100% successful valuations. So every valuation came in at contract price. And when you're talking of an average price of 1.23 million in the middle of, I guess, a pandemic, 1 in 100 years that we haven't seen anything like that, where I can tell you valuers are very nervous at the best of times. So for them to support our brand throughout that, just shows how resilient we are. And yeah, it was a real testimony to, I guess, the design and the project itself. Of course, Vive, which we completed 28 projects inside of there. I think it was 29 in the end. Once again, all the evaluations successfully on board. Henry, so these are our Inner West previous projects as well, so that's why I guess they're listed out too. So just a couple of them. So as far as Inner West goes, we've delivered in Indooroopilly itself already 4 projects. We've got our 5th one, the Henry, which will be delivered in around about it's not even 5 months. That's going to be around May. So not too far away now. Very excited for that project. Beautiful rooftop pool area, which you can see overlooking the city there as well. So Toowong at a snapshot. So I guess when you're talking proximity to the city, we're that 4K distance from the CBD itself, surrounded by some of your best universities, hospitals. It just makes perfect sense for everyone. And what I've found through our research is, even though UQs, so UQs is Australia's second largest university, it's the largest behind Melbourne University. It is a huge employer for that sort of inner west pocket inside of there. You get a lot of uni students, so what we design is not specifically targeted towards uni students, because we operate in that affordable luxury sort of area. Uni students always soak up the cheaper rents, but we've also found that a lot of them actually gravitate, rather than living right next to the uni, Toowong is a key area for them. For main reasons, driven around your transport and your shopping centre. So we're finding that shopping centre is a big thing, great restaurants and everything in and around that sort of area itself. So rich and many, very affluent suburb, and I'll get into how affluent it is. You've got some of Brisbane's best schools inside of there, Brisbane Boys College, in Stuart Home as well. So education's very strong. You've got, with Toowong, great connection to Auckland Flower Hospital with the Wesley, and you've got Westside Private Hospital as well. Of course, your transportation there, being right on the ferry. You've got the train stop there, so you're a couple of stops and you're in the city as well. One of Brisbane's big infrastructure projects behind, I guess, Queen's Wharf and Cross River Rail would be the Live Precinct and the Roma Street upgrade there. So you're a couple of stops away from that. So all your new concert's going to be. So for those who like Taylor Swift like I do, you can go watch Taylor Swift at... no, I'm just joking, I don't like Taylor Swift. So shopping centre's a big piece as well. So there's an expansion on the shopping centre. You like Taylor Swift? Good. Glad someone does. So with the shopping centre, they're looking at spending $450 million where the old Woolworths site is. Yep. So that is going to add cinemas, more retail and commercial inside of the area as well. So once again, we look at that effortless advantage where someone else is spending money and you're getting a benefit from it. Yep. So whilst we're not directly on top of it, we're going to see some returns from it. And of course, your great connection to everything that's in and around there, being Roma Street and also Suncorp Stadium as well. So this is some of the things I just mentioned previously. So I think a few people in the room might know this project over here. Cotty Parker designed it, so your Queen's Wharf Casino. You've also got the Victoria Park upgrade, which is nice and close by as well. Toowong Shopping Village, which I just mentioned. And of course your Cross River Rail project, which also sees an upgrade to Roma Street in there as well. So one of our previous projects in Toowong, the Patterson, great location. So your shopping centre is basically over here. You can see where your next ferry stop is, train station directly opposite. And what they're putting into this area, and we have it on very, very good word, that's the exact location for the bridge. This is an artist impression, so it may not look like that as it is early days for the bridge there, but it is a pedestrian bridge that connects West End and Toowong together. So it's one of, I guess, 5 pedestrian bridges that has been promised over the next 5 years as well. So they're actually going through the planning process of that, and it will be delivered, and that is the location. So it's great to see that connection for those who like cycling and running and over to West End. So got to be clear, it's not going to be taking buses, it's not going to be taking cars, it's just a pedestrian bridge.
Sorry, I want to add more information. 大家知道吗？我们布里斯班其实有一个很大的规划是关于桥的。其中有一个最重要的连接点，就是要连接Toowong跟 West End。其实如果大家以前在 UQ 上学，或者朋友在那边工作也好，应该能感觉到 West End 离 UQ 其实很近，但是你必须绕，因为中间你必须从 City 中间插过去，因为中间没有太多的桥连接嘛，那这个就缓解了从 West End 到Toowong的这个人流量，并且还是属于布里斯班5座桥中最重要的一个连接。目前的规划是这样子，还没有最终的确认。但是应该是没啥问题，顶多是这个设计上有些改进。所以大家如果没注意到的话，觉得这是一个非常注意的点。而且Toowong Village原 Woolworths 的改建啊， 对于做生意的朋友们来说，应该也注意一下，那边都不知道多少年没变过了。我以前是 UQ 的，10年前是 UQ 毕业的，就昆山大学。我也是看着图旺这个区，最近几年才开始发展起来，所以从这个层面上来讲的话，也是一个很特别的区域了。而且不知道大家有没有注意到，图旺是唯一一个，又有轮渡，然后又有火车站，又有公车站，都比较集中的这么一个地方，应该是唯一的。如果是东区的话，乌龙嘎达将来会，因为它有个 Cross River Rail 在那边经过，但是图旺是现成的，然后现在又加了个桥。finish。
Perfect. So I guess you want to know what the market's like inside of Toowong as well in terms of, and I always go to realestate.com. It's a pretty good guide because in Queensland we sort of use that a lot more than our southern counterparts that head towards more domain. But you can see whilst the average in Queensland's around 570 visits per property, we're around 606. So we're talking a high demand market. But what I find really interesting is the demographics for the area. So the education, so you're talking highly educated when compared to Brisbane average. A lot of university educated people. So you can see in here Brisbane's typically at 19%, 53% educated through university, and we've got professionals at 42%. So we're earning a lot more money. So better demographic of people, and we always drill down into that to see what the buyer profile is like inside of there, and also what our tenant profile is going to be like as well. So once again, great area for that. When you talk about supply and unemployment rates and employment for the area, so there's a lot of jobs going to be created in the area. So we can see that on statistics at the end there. So we're seeing a 22% jump in employment. For unemployment, when we've got the national average at 7.4%, and the unemployment rate's at 4.4%, we know a lot of people inside of Toowong have employment. Once again, key drivers to the area, just saying how strong it is. Now, Toowong will be Brisbane's next suburb to break the $1 million mark for average price point. So when you're talking Brisbane's average at the moment is $565,000, we're just sitting under that $1 million price point at the moment, but it won't be long until that gets over that. And once again, talking more towards the broader market and what's happening at the moment, we're seeing the borders just open up. I'm talking to local real estate agents every weekend, and the constant feedback is, I can't believe it. They're getting 40, 50 people to open homes, offers, multiple offers on properties. It's unbelievable at the moment. And a lot of people, and a lot of them are moving up from down south, Sydney and Melbourne, who have been locked up for a long period of time and said, you know what, I'm not doing another Melbourne winter. If I'm going to be locked up somewhere and I can work remotely, I'm going to Brisbane.
Yeah.
All right, so we can see that. So we're some 427,000 above the median price point inside of there as well. And you can see we've also got a number of freestanding homes as opposed to, owner-occupied dwellings as opposed to investment inside an area. So once again, better statistics for the Toowong market itself. Rental prices, look, we use these as a little bit of a benchmark to see how far we can get over them. So for the Inner West, to give you a really good example, it's not on this slide, but your average price for a 2-bedroom apartment in Indooroopilly is $400 a week. That's across every apartment inside of that's 2-bedroom. Mosaic, across our 4 completed projects, averages $500 a week. All right, so we're $100 above your average price point per week. Now, when you put in our latest project that we delivered, so I showed you the slide on that one before, which is Vive by Mosaic. So it's now been around, it's just over 12 months old. Our average price for our 2-bedroom apartments is $125 a week, over and above your $400, which is your average for the area, sorry. So what I'm saying is our projects get a higher rent, and these are projects that don't even have amenity in it. So there's no pool, there's no gymnasium. So now that we're incorporating these, extra lifestyle pieces into our project, we're going to see those rents jump higher again.
Yeah.
So when we look back, and I mentioned it earlier before, when Brisbane was in peak apartment supply, that was in reference to, I guess, the rental market. Now we're talking about supply overall.
Yeah.
All right, so what's happened, and COVID-19 is going to, I guess, make this stand out even more. Not a lot of developers are bringing stock to the market. In fact, there's not a lot of stock in the market in general. When you talk to local real estate agents, they've gone from having too many listings to not having enough listings and having more buyers. So they're door knocking more than ever. If you've got a house, if you own your own home, I'm sure you've all been approached by real estate agents recently saying, oh, I can get a really good price for your home, because there's not a lot of property around in the market. So when we saw 2016 and 17, we can see our balance or equilibrium for apartment supply in Brisbane's around 5,000 apartments per annum. Okay, we went over the benchmark in 2016 and 17, but we've moved very quickly into undersupply territory. So what that means is we're not keeping up with supply. So the amount of apartments for the amount of people moving in the area doesn't match up. Further to that, where we can see where the actual supply is falling, a lot of it's falling in the inner north and inner south. So our inner west has a very small percentage of that supply that's coming in through here. So what does that mean? It means it's going to put more pressure on that market, and it means we're going to get higher rents and we're going to get higher capital growth, and that's what we're aiming for. All right, that's what we want to do at the end of the day, is put ourselves statistically in a position to maximise our rental yield and our capital growth. Does that make sense? Yeah, great.
I can talk more.
Yeah, go.
哎，大家可以看到15年啊，其实再往前有点像。I just talking about it back up to 2013 to 2015. It's very like similar period as today, but
Correct.
today, much over like undersupply.
Correct.
Yeah， 大家应该就是还是回忆一下，因为咱们都来这边应该是超过10年了，大部分朋友。2013年到2015年其实蛮像现在时期，因为那个时候也没有特别多的公寓，但是会比今天会多一点，因为现在。一个是我个人认为啊，它没有这么多地了，当然政府也不会审批那么多。第二个，政府也在 control， 就是在控制这个供需差，永远是供需差决定价格。咱们不是资本主义社会吗？不是共产党领导的。所以呢，政府还是会看，总的来说就是看供需，然后来决定给不给这个开发商这个项目批这个建筑许可，不是想建就建，不是有钱就可以建。然后呢，也是随着过去几年的各种波动，不管是经济上的，还是说因为疫情，或者是因为更多的那个开发商，而且有从全世界各地来的开发商，比如说中国来的，对吧？他会开始审核，要求开发商其实更高的素质、更高的标准，无论是在外面的设计和内部的设计上，它其实都会提高要求，也会，让这个审批的过程其实还会变慢。那这样子的话，市场上人是一直来的呀，那他们一直来，有买的有租的，当然会提高租金市场，还有这个售价，就是价格的。如果是买房子的话，买家的这个合同价的市场。所以这个是事实，大家其实可以关注着，看看布里斯班未来是不是还真的有这么多公寓。其实这个东西未来的地和房其实都一样，但是这个图吧，主要是说的公寓市场，也就是方圆5公里之内的事情。因为布里斯班还没这么大，其实市中心也就5公里之内的事儿。如果是5到10公里，差不多就叫 inner CBD， 比如说土旺啊、Indooroopilly 啊，或者是那个 St. Lucia，那些区其实拿地是更困难的。像他现在刚才说的 Patterson 是去年土旺唯一的新盘。那我们等会儿要说3月份的那个新盘，也是至少是一直到6月份吧，是土旺唯一的新盘。所以这是供需差，本来就 undersupply 下的更加的 undersupply， 更具有稀缺性的这么一个时机和产品。OK，undersupply。
Yeah, perfect. That's what we're looking for. And part of our research to go into that as well with the undersupply piece is we've always looked to areas that don't have as much supply in there, which protects our rents and our capital growth as well. So that's very heavily researched, the areas that we go into. So for us, we're very proud of this project. We launched late last year, the Patterson by Mosaic. So it's our first project in Toowong. Once again, really good connection to the river inside of there. So originally it was 66 apartments. We've actually brought that back down to 62. Yeah, it's 62. So we've had a few amalgamations where people have joined 2 apartments together inside of there. So our average sale price for the Patterson project was around that $1.2 million. So Yeah, beautiful project, good combination of 2 and 3 bedroom design. So you'll find we're moving into that territory where we get combinations of 2s and 3s. We don't do 1 bedroom apartments. We will look at occasionally do a 2 bedroom and 1 bathroom to hit a price point for our buyers as well. But yeah, we're big believers in 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, but there will be variations where we add in multi-purpose rooms, some larger than others, some a little bit smaller. Once again, because not every buyer profile is exactly the same. So very successful launch of that. I've got 1 Sky Home remaining inside of the project. Out of that 62 apartments. So sold through very, very quickly. If anyone does want to buy a Sky Home, hang around afterwards and see me. It's 214 square metres of luxury living. They're unbelievable. Part of our Masterpiece series. So we're broken up into what I deem as affordable luxury to luxury, which is our Marquee series. And then we've got our Masterpiece series, which is very high-end luxury. So that's a part of the Masterpiece series inside of there as well. So what I encourage you when you're talking to your clients, is to understand how quickly this project sold out, and only for those people who got in very, very quickly did they have a chance. I'd love to have another Patterson coming up, and I'm a very lucky man, so I've got the Kensington coming up, which is the Patterson, the same type of project, just in a slightly different location inside of.
For our first release time, do you remember?
Yeah, we released it in
August. It was towards the end of August.
towards the end of August. Yeah, I thought it was. I say the beginning of September, but it might have been the end of August there. So yeah, so we released that in September. It was 80% sold out within a very, very short time. And prior to Christmas, I had everything realistically under contract.
Yeah.
So but I've had 1 come back, which is the Sky Home. So yeah, very successful project. So once again, when you're talking to your clients, getting an understanding, if you do want to get into this project, you can't sit back and wait. And that's what today's about. It's about educating yourself as to the area, what's coming, when the opportunity arises, that you are informed enough to be able to make a very quick decision. Yeah, so that was one of the recent ones that we've delivered, that we've actually brought construction forward. So originally when we spoke, we were talking about a June, July sort of construction start. Well, we're actually on site at the moment. So in February, we're seeing demolition take place, and in March, we'll see the official construction taking place there. So once again, bringing things forward rather than pushing them back. So introducing the Kensington by Mosaic. Look, we've got 63 apartments and we've got a beautiful combination. So it's on Sylvan Road and Standring Street. I'll point that out in the next one. Designed by Coddy Parker. The launch is going to be officially mid-March. For those people inside of the room, you're going to get the first sort of sneak peek at the project. Yeah. Construction timeframes, I'm going to confirm them for you, but we're looking at having this delivered by the beginning of 2023. All right, so once again, it's not too far, not too dissimilar to the construction timeframes in the Patterson project. 9 levels of living inside of there. Penthouse, two other 2-bedroom apartments. A beautiful rooftop pool inside of there as well as barbecue facilities. So once again, we're putting that lifestyle element inside of there. But we've got a great variety of product type inside of this project. So you've got 3 bedrooms, 3-bedroom plus MPR, 2-bedders, 2+ MPRs inside of there as well. And there's some really unique designs inside of there and floor plate sizes as well. So our 3-bedroom apartments start from 116 square metres internally, up to 130 square metres internal. All right, so decent sized 3-bedroom apartments. Our penthouse is going to be around that 200 square metres internal. 2-bedders range from that sort of 85 to 92 square metres internally as well. So once again, we're sticking with that philosophy of a really good sized 2-bedroom apartment. For those who don't know sizing of apartments, I guess what's been delivered in Brisbane, we've had some Melbourne developers and people coming out of the woodwork, delivering a lot of product over the last 5 years, which has all been undersized. So by undersized, I mean internally there's 62 to sort of 75 square metres. So where we see our comfort level is around that sort of 85 to 92 for our twos. It's good enough to still deliver a price point and make it nice and livable as well.
And we never put one bed in Tuwang area because we want to attract more local owner occupier.
Correct. Yeah.
Mosaic 的产品很少放一房的，尤其是在土旺或者是将来滨州配这种区，因为当地的 owner occupier 一般是需要2房的，而且是2房大面积的。布里斯班大多数公寓其实是65到75平左右，但是他们平均会大20%到30%，也就是说，85到100平。若是3房的话，100多平到140平左右都有。一般顶层的叫 townhouse 啊，如果大家没怎么看过公寓的，可能不知道 townhouse 指什么，一般指顶层公寓，200平。大家住过 townhouse 的话，知道 townhouse 都没这么大，上下加起来也就是150平左右吧。但是内部200平，然后阳台还会大概会有40-50平的样子。OK。
All right, so this is the location of the project right here. So as you can see, it's directly opposite a massive big green space, and we will get those beautiful views back towards the city. All right, so you will, from the project itself, have 360-degree views. Doesn't matter what side you're on there. There's benefits from each and every one. So this is Sylvan Road, which runs all the way into the Regatta Hotel on the corner here. And then we've got the ferry stop here. This is our, it's hard to see from side on, Tuwang Shopping Village through here. And this is the new Tuwang Shopping Village upgrade precinct through here. Now the Patterson, where are we? That's it here? Yeah, that's it there, sorry. It's hard to see from side on.
And the green bridge just in front of Patterson.
So the green bridge will run from West End and lands directly where this little white building is here into the site. So you can see great connectivity with West End itself. But beautiful green overview. So the pool's landing on the northwest corner over here of the project. So it'll overlook this entire green space up there. So no matter where you buy into the project, everyone has access to the best views, which will be up and around that pool deck area. There's another view back towards, so you can see actually just exactly how close it is to your ferry terminal here and your beautiful walkway along the riverbank and your shopping centre in the background. Of course, you've got the university UQ over in the background. So once again, really good connectivity to absolutely everything. And we're literally 4Ks to the city. Is there any questions around the location of the project?
大家有什么问题吗？咱们随意啊，包括我们的同事有啥问题？凯瑞，你有啥问题吗？没有。你相信公寓吗？就我们的 sales 跟其他
Here's my favourite photo. So I thought I'd throw that in there. So look, thank you very much for attending our sneak peek or a little bit of an education session before we, because don't forget when we catch up on the 6th. You like that? I thought
maybe too much Photoshop.
We need some more Photoshop. Thank you. So look, thanks again for coming in this morning. I will be hanging around for any questions you've got inside of the project, but I'm very, very excited to give you the first look when we catch up next time at the project. And I will have marketing materials, I'll have the floor plans, we'll have the pricing, we'll have all the body corporate information, we'll have absolutely everything on the project. Well, not everything, I should say, because there will be some more bathroom renders coming out later, but we'll have enough information on the project.